Um, my name is Palka Shibale, and I'm the Secretary of African Student Association here. I'm also a Kenyan student on campus, and I just want to say thank you so much for all of you who are coming out for the 147 students. Just a little background. I'm pretty sure most of you who are here today are familiar with the events that took place in Kenya. So over this past week, at Garissa University, which is in northeastern Kenya, that's in East Africa, 147 students Garissa University was attacked, where 147 students, just like us, who go to UW every day, were killed.
These acts of terrorism we are seeing today are usually fueled by political tension. But nonetheless, it's innocent people who end up paying the price. And in the case of Kenya, innocent Christian students.
What happened at Garissa was wrong. Killing 147 people, it's wrong.
Last Thursday around 5 o'clock in the morning, there were students at the University of Garissa in Kenya. And a lot of them, just like us, some of them were studying late at night, some of them were just preparing for their classes, some of them woke up early, and their life was just normal. And then at 5 o'clock, 2 gunmen came to the dormitory of the students and killed 2 guards at the door and rushed in. And they killed everybody that they saw in sight. And then 20 people were able to escape thanks to the guards who made sure that these people are safe, even though their life was at stake. So after that happened, the students were rushed into a room where they were held as hostage, and they were asked whether they were Christians or Muslims, and then they let the Muslims go and they killed the Christians. A lot of friends have been separated. A lot of friends had to leave and see their friend getting killed in front of them. And then this whole hostage thing lasted for 15 hours. 15 hours of terror, 15 hours of fear. People don't know what they're going through. They don't know if they're dying, if they're going to be able to make it out. And then after 15 hours, the police were able to come in and kill the 4 men who were responsible for this attacks.
The attacks that happened in Garissa, killing 147 people. The attack that happened 2 years ago in the Westgate Mall, killing 67 people. I lost a friend on that day. And I've been to both of these places a couple of times, so it's traumatic to see that happening on television, having nothing to do with it, and can't be able to help them. So seeing your family's blood be splurged on the floor, it's traumatic. Alright, let's take a second. Forget about the attack that happened in Kenya. Move to University of Washington. Move it to Red Square. 147 Huskies on the floor. Scary thought, isn't it? Multiply that thought by 100. Add emotions of anger, fear, pain, terror. Multiply all those emotions by 1,000. That's what they felt. That's what the families of deceased are feeling right now.
And so we're here today to commemorate their lives, and we want to say thank you so much for coming. And this vigil itself might be for Kenyan students, but I know a lot of you who come from different communities can relate.
We were brought up on Kenyan land, and we lived a blessed life. The people who were there were so warm and friendly. Their love, the hospitality, the humility made Kenya identify it as home. Sri Lanka isn't my home, Kenya is my home, because that's where my heart lies. No tribe, no country, no religion can spread or change that fact that they are my family.
So I would just like to take a moment to recognize some of those countries. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the 2,000 Nigerians who were killed over this past, earlier this year, right around the same time the Charlie Hebdo attacks occurred. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you all hear me? Awesome. And also I'd like to take a moment to recognize the girls that were taken and weren't found. So whether you're coming from Kenya or Nigeria or Somalia or the Middle East, we've all had things that have happened to us. The Boko Haram or Al-Shabaab or ISIS. We hear about them every day.
And then this attack was carried by a group called Al-Shabaab, and they originated in Somalia, my home country. And they claim that they did this attack because they are revenging the Muslims that are dying all around the world. the reason I bring that is because I find it really ironic coming from Somalia. I understand what Al-Shabaab has done to us. If there is a terror that was caused on Muslims in Somalia, it was by Al-Shabaab. And it hurts me to see that they can carry the name of Islam and say we're doing it for the Muslims. But they've killed way more Muslims than anybody else in Somalia.
I, as a Muslim, have been condemning these acts for years. I condemned them when 9/11 took place. I condemned them when Charlie Hebdo was attacked. I condemned them when Boko Haram killed innocents and kidnapped numerous students. I condemned them when the Taliban took the lives of innocents, when the Boston Marathon bombing happened. And honestly, I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of condemning. But who am I to condemn when these same acts have been condemned and are still being condemned by some of the largest known Islamic figures for centuries?
And it's really hard not to get desensitized to stuff like this that happens. And so a lot of us who are here, even a lot of us who have communities in other countries or other nations, have a personal stake at this. You might not be personally afflicted by the 147 students, but I know a lot of you can talk about a terror attack or some kind of attack that happened from your community or even here, right here in the United States. So I'd really just like take a moment to recognize those countries here and say that this is absolutely beautiful. We have people here from every community. We've got Christians, we've got Muslims, we've got Jews, we've got agnostics or atheists. We're all welcome here.
I may be a Sri Lankan, you may be a Husky. Whatever religion I am, whatever religion you are, whatever country we come from, doesn't change the fact that we're all still the same. We are one. We are one family. And no terrorist group is going to change that.
But I want to talk about the significance of love and brotherhood during this time. We live in the United States, and so it's very difficult not to be detached or not to realize that a lot of the times coming to University of Washington every day is a privilege. We walk into this beautiful campus, we walk here safely, and we enjoy privileges that so many of our people in developing countries don't. And in a way, I was telling my friends earlier that we live in a bubble. We live in a bubble that the rest of the world does not live in. And some of you who have traveled or have gone to other communities, even right here in the United States, you know that these disparities exist, whether they're economic disparities, or that they're social disparities, or racial disparities, or gender disparities. And this vigil is significant because a lot of the times when black and brown bodies are being massacred, we don't get the exact same attention. We're not treated the exact same way. And it's difficult for those of us who are coming from those communities not to feel subhuman and not to feel as though our lives don't matter as much. So I don't want to go into an entire Black Lives protest, but we wanted to stand here today to show solidarity with the Kenyans, to show solidarity with the Nigerians or with the Somalians or with the Ugandans. Except anywhere you are, this video here is for you.
Gathering here, being with one another, and really being crazy. One step at a time can change everything. So to the Kenyan community and all those who are going through this difficult time, we really are heartbroken and we are with you. And together we will stop this acts of terror. Thank you.
UW always finds a way to come and remember all these people who fall. And it's always important that we do that and let them know that your lives matter and that we put faces to the person who died just so that they are normal. We don't want to see the pictures of them dead, the picture of them laying down with their blood. That's not how they should be remembered. They should be remembered for who they were, bright students who had dreams, futures, things that they wanted to do, people that they loved, normal life.
And what can we do? We can hope, we can pray, we can send comfort to the families, but is that enough? Is being here enough? I personally think that the word should be spread. The word should be spread, should be spread, should be spread.